wonder how we prevent that.
It's a really obnoxious,
Drill a hole in your floor and...
Well, we can't run anything just up the stairs. That's what I do for my PlayStation.
Okay.
So we'll just need to, I actually don't have an Ethernet port on this laptop, but...
You don't?
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Yeah. Hey! I'm back too. How's it going? We're all here. It's annoying. It's probably making a noise. Echoing, dragging, everything's crap. Echoes again. Gotta probably drop my mic again.
Oh.
Alright, mic should be working again now. Michael's mic! Alright, so, now that we got that little hiccup out of the way, we'd like to bring you here for the feature entertainment. Which I forgot what it is. I think we're talking about music videos.
Yeah, sorry, I was just sending selfies to our guests.
Oh boy.
John Wallace just sent me a great selfie of his mustache.
Nice.
Okay, so yeah, we were going to talk about music videos, and there was some story you had mentioned where you were telling a story, just an average story of your life, and somebody told you your life is like a movie, and so we just got to thinking about.
I don't remember that. I believe you.
I do. I was there for it. It was hilarious. But we're just like, we have had some really funny things happen during some of the music videos. And so we thought we'd just talk about them. So, yeah. Figured we'd just start with Time Machine. Because we got Time Machine, Train Bridge, We Own the Night, and Pick a Way to Go. So if anybody has any ones that they would prefer to start with, we could do that. But I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to wait for you. So we're just jumping into Time Machine.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out if I can find a way to play them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, until then, you should go back at some other time, not now, and rewatch the videos. But actually, come to think of it, we probably should have rewatched the music videos for this. I did not do that.
That's okay. We'll start with the premise first.
Okay. So, I remember we did Time Machine. And, I think it was you that came up with the idea that, we wanted to do a robbery.
Yeah, I think we'd really been pumped about watching old Red Fang videos. So that's kind of where I feel like a lot of my inspiration for our music videos came from. And so I was like, yeah, let's rob a distillery. And we can do it at my parents' house. So that whole thing, we filmed it, I'm pretty sure, in one day. And it was really cold. And there was Jay Pelzer recorded that video, which he's done all of our good ones. And, his helper that day was a guy from Kirksville High School, but I'm spacing on his name at the moment.
Ooh. He's probably in the chat.
But most of the videos at this point, Garrett from Hang Your Hate, the singer, has helped on, and he also helped us with, or I shouldn't say helped, he did the commercials that we did for MoDOT with Jay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I think that might be work on Facebook there.
Hey, we got Tanya from Leon, Spain.
Nice.
Hola.
So we set out to do that music video. It was up in Kirksville. The distillery was actually Lloyd's Distributing, or not distillery, distributor, sorry. The Lloyd's Distributing outside of Kirksville, out on Highway 11, right before you get to Troy Mills. And I actually didn't know Lloyd at the time, but he was very cool about, yeah, come on and film your heist here. Which honestly, that was probably one of the smoothest things that's ever happened for the band, that he just said, yeah, come in and do that here.
Yeah. And just unlocked the door and...
Unlocked the door. They were kind of... it was probably a weekend day, I would say, since we were working on it. But they I think they were washing a truck or something, maybe like some of the employees that were there. But so at that time, John Deere Green had left the band, and we kind of had this running theme through this storyline of music videos we were doing where if you left the band, you became a villain in the music videos. So Josh Hickam became a villain. John Green was the main villain because he was kind of the first one to leave. But John Green played on those first records, and then he wasn't living here at the time, so just kind of life got in the way, and he wasn't able to do it as much. But so John actually played, I think, J.T. Lloyd, is that what we called him?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and he had his cool white, like, sort of Skinnerdy looking 70s suit on for it, and he had a really big beard, I feel like, at the time too, which it's strange to think about now because John's had such either like a small beard or like chops or
clean shave.
Yeah, or like a Fu Manchu, but he just had like a big old freaking beard at the time. And so the video started there, and we used my dad's old, it was a white old F-150. I believe it was an 84 or 3. I can't remember. You guys would know if you watched it, but it was all rusted out, but it ran really good. I remember it's kind of like a Granny Low manual truck, and I remember filming the little burnout scene in the gravel over and over again, and which was really cool, and it was really good at it because you could just kick it into that gear and it would really spin the gravel at my parents' house. And Jay had drones and stuff, so that bridge that we drive over, which I can't remember if the video starts in the distributor or if we start
waking up in your parents'
That's right.
basement.
We woke up in the basement. Yeah, so that's my parents' basement in the very beginning of the video, and there was a little bit of camera trickery, if I remember right, where we kind of made the barn, inside of the barn, look like it was somewhere else, or the basement looked like it was somewhere else, or like it was all one place.
Yeah.
But technically there was those 2 sets at my parents' house was in the basement there, and we woke up with, and was that Log Boat that gave us the beer? No, it was Burr Oak. Burr Oak Brewery gave us this beer called Highway 63. They gave us like 8 cases or something to use for this music video, which was super cool. And we had a whole bunch of empty other beer bottles or beer cans and stuff, and we made all sorts of props for it. Like when you watch that, I remember he'd smoked out the whole basement. Do you remember when my cousin Ronnie and Grizz got there? We were all like strewn about, and we were actually pretty drunk during the filming of that because it was freezing cold, and we'd been drinking all day.
It's the only way you could stay warm.
Yeah, it was like we actually probably would have froze if we'd not been drinking. But I remember Ronnie came in, which Ronnie is the one I tell stories about all the time, actually. And he came in, I'm sure, well, maybe not drunk, and he was like, he couldn't understand what was going on, and there was like everybody's laying on the floor, and the room was full of smoke, and he'd been running a smoke machine for like a couple of hours, and he's like, what the hell is going on in here? And then finally he just went upstairs. But yeah, so we woke up in the house, and then we were going to go rob the Lloyd's Distributing, which, like I said before, it's kind of between Highway 63 and Troy Mills out there on Highway 11, for you guys that know about that. And so we get there, and we're robbing the place. We're robbing PBR. We're stealing PBR and the Burr Oak beer from them. And there's a bunch of cool shots in it where we're like running, or I remember that one where we're like pushing each other on the carts. Pretty cool.
Oh,
like
yeah.
We're going back and forth, and that was pretty funny. I went back and watched it somewhat recently, and I like my hair was like tied back, and I had no facial hair, which was really weird for Comanchero's situation now, reflecting back on it.
Yeah.
And then we steal it. We go back to what is like it's like a shed really, but it's kind of it's a neat old shed. It's this old green, like kind of garage / shed, and it's got bars over the windows, which it's out in the middle of nowhere in Missouri. And the old legend goes is that the owner, 2 times before my parents, if not 3, had a pet mountain lion they used to keep out in that garage. And as legend would have it, at some point the mountain lion jumped at a kid or like got out or something during a party, or he like freaked a kid out, bounced up against the window, or created some sort of havoc. And then supposedly the owner went out in the woods and killed the mountain lion, but the legend is that he just let it go. And for anybody who follows the sort of uptick in mountain lions in Missouri over the past 20, 30 years, supposedly that mountain lion is a part of that, which is a cool story. I don't know how true it is, but that is why that old barn, which has 2 horse stalls in it, has bars over the windows, because the old mountain lion that was held in there at one point.
I believe it.
Which is a weird thought, but so we kind of turned that barn. We opened up a door in it that hadn't been open in forever. It was the one that went from the dog pen in and out.
Mountain lion pen.
Yeah. Which that probably wouldn't hold the mountain lion, because it was just like, that was actually probably for the horses. The pasture area. But we always use it. It's like that's where our dogs ran and stuff. And we had a bunch of bird dogs when I was younger. And the kind of where we pull the tractor in and out, we turned into essentially what looked like a little venue. And it's like a dirt floor. It's a really cool looking barn. And we pulled all the drums and stuff in. And actually about the only thing about that video that I was kind of bummed about is we never got a really big wide shot. Did I say something stupid?
No, you're dovetailing perfectly into one of the funny parts about this that I wanted to bring up. So
okay.
Please continue.
We never got like a big wide shot of how cool we'd made that little garage look like this sort of like venue when you walk in. So essentially there was like a hallway that we kind of like lit up with lights, and that was between the 2 horse stalls, and that brought you into like the venue. But Michael, I assume I know what you're going to talk about here, but...
Well, we can say this now because it's water under the bridge. But the idea for that was that we would, steal the beer, and then we get to the show, and we were hoping to have 50 people crammed into this little barn.
Yeah, your wager.
It was going to be awesome. We'd have free beer for everybody. We'd be playing. We'd get some great shots. So we invited a ton of people. Really made a big deal about hey, come be in the music video. And I think your cousin came.
He had one cousin came with her husband, and one girl who I went to high school with. And for that, which we did have free beer for anybody who came, so it was it's tempting.
Yeah,
but
and then Lance and Kim Lloyd showed up.
Yeah, which
on date night.
Yeah, which was awesome. It was actually pretty embarrassing with my cousin and the girl I went to high school with, because it was this is gonna be a whole big deal, and then it was and they were so sweet, and they hung around for a while.
Yeah.
But it was we couldn't really even film it because it's not a party with just 3 people, 4 people.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I do remember that your cousin actually left before we started filming.
Probably so. Yeah.
And then it was Lance and Kim were there, and we were like, sorry guys, I know you drove a couple hours to be here, but we can't do this with you, Yeah. And they were super cool. So
thankfully the Lloyds are always so awesome, it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. Lance actually wrote Bobcats and Beer Cans, which he wrote inspired by that bobcat. So Tanner, you did a song with your dad on the couch.
Correct. Yeah.
And he saw that, and then there was the bobcat there, and so he wrote Bobcats and Beer Cans about that cover song that you guys did. And so then it was just oh, well, that's a great song, so we need to put it on the album. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the only song we've ever recorded on an album that was not one that we wrote. We've done, covers and stuff here and there, but
a our song that someone else wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably is the case. It's a really good one though. It's it's a very sort of Willie Nelson 6/8-3/4 type tune. I really like it. It gets stuck in my head a lot still, actually. We've kind of been thinking about, especially if we're going to be pulling these vinyls of old records out too, we might work up some of these old ones that we used to do and pull them out again, but who knows? Spotify kind of dictates, how it is anymore, what you play live, because you're well, this is people listen to this, what they want to hear, Somebody told me recently that on Apple Music, it was one I'd never checked, or Google Music, or I don't know, there's so many streaming things, but what song was it? Crazy as Hell was #1 or something.
I apologize. I was testing the audio again. What was that?
Which part?
The last thing you said.
That on some other streaming service that none of us use, that like Crazy as Hell was number one.
That seems about right.
Like it was on like Apple Music or something.
They are very regional. I know there's one streaming service that we're on that is like only in Finland. So it's really interesting to look at that sometime and see that we get like 10 cents from a song sale in Finland.
Weird.
And it's like, oh.
I didn't know that actually. It's the first time I'm hearing about this.
The Finns are great people. They've got saunas.
They are.
They're large people. Have you ever met a Finn?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some Finnish foreign exchange people in our high school actually.
Were they very tall?
No.
Really?
They were not.
Man.
Yeah.
Every Finn I've ever met is like 6.5 feet tall.
Well, you know, they don't send the biggest ones over here for foreign exchange programs.
They don't want to intimidate us.
Yeah.
I get it.
They send the little gimpy ones over.
Well.
So on that video, that probably... Is that how it ends? We just get drunk and then...
Yeah, and then there's like the shot of JT walks out. Hey, Joshua James is here from Down Under. Sorry. Let me... For Josh here, let's invert the stream so he can see us.
Is that because he's in Australia?
Yeah. Everything's upside down.
Yeah.
He messages me sometimes, and he somehow has this thing where he can flip his text upside down, and it's hilarious.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, but we really wanted to keep that theme going. So when we got the opportunity to do Train Bridge, we wanted to bring all of the, we wanted to have JT back, John as JT.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fun. But then we also, at that time, Josh Hickam had left. And so we're like, all right, well, we'll get him in.